Well, I finally saw Skinamarink. It's on Hulu right now, and I had wanted to see it when it came out last year. I believe it came out in 2022. It was definitely an intriguing art-styled film, but I just never got around to it, and it seemed people gave it mixed reviews of like it was kind of boring or it was very terrifying, reminiscent of child horror and shit like that. So I was very confused, but I was also like, it looks really good, but I need a day where I could like sit and watch it, and I just kind of forgot about it. So I finally watched it, and it was definitely interesting. It was definitely indie horror. It was directed by this guy, Kyle Edward Ball, and apparently he only spent like $15,000 on making this movie, and he made over $1 million. So, not bad if I do say so. Like, I mean, he definitely did a good job at making some money back. But I will say that, yeah, this film was definitely weird and intriguing, and just I had to watch it twice to really get make sure I got everything from it. But even then, I'm still like, holy shit, what happened in this film? But so the film stars these two kids, Kevin and Kylie, and pretty much they wake up and they find that their parents are missing, and they're pretty much trapped in their house because the windows and doors in the house disappear. And it's you could say that there's a poltergeist there. You could say that there's an entity or spirit or a demon, whatever you want to say is there. Something is there terrorizing these kids, but not necessarily terrorizing them. It's a very slow burn of a scare. And there's not that many jump scares. There's a lot of times I thought jump scares were going to happen. I was expecting a creature or a shadow or anything to happen, and nothing really happens. It's just a lot of interesting camera angles, a lot of interesting shots in the dark, a lot of graininess. The whole film is film grained out. I mean, it's like it's got a filter on it of film grain, and it just never lets up for the entire movie. But so Kevin Kevin and Kylie, like I said, wake up and their parents are gone. The doors and windows have vanished, and they're just trying to figure out what is going on, like where their parents are, why the house is dark, like, right, the lights stop working at some point, the phone is disconnected. And then halfway through, they start hearing this gurgly, scary ass voice, and the voice is telling them to come inside, to come upstairs, or to come into the basement, or to play, or whatever it is. And it is very unsettling. I mean, I will say the least, because I was never that afraid of the dark as a kid. But for fuck's sake, if I woke up and the whole house was dark, and I couldn't quite figure out where anyone was, and I had no doors to get outside, I would definitely feel a little fucking scared. I'd be a little worried. And the kids got to be between, 4 and 5, 6, so they're old enough to know that something isn't right, and old enough to, one of them, the son, Kevin, ends up trying to call the police, and he actually gets a hold of them and tells them like, hey, like, I don't know where my parents are, like the doors are gone, and they're like, be a strong boy, we're gonna send someone out, and they never do. But so they're, like I said, they're trapped in the house, and they're trying to find out what's going on, and apparently the demon or the entity or the poltergeist is messing with the sister Kaylee, and she wants her mom and dad so bad, and the entity doesn't like that she's not, in having fun with it or not interacting with it itself. So it like takes away her eyes and mouth at one scene. And that was pretty fucking weird and creepy, because the entity tells Kevin that like, oh, she wanted mommy and daddy back, or whatever. And so I made her like stop wanting it or stop talking. It was weird. It was so weird. And then so the movie continues on, and it turns out that like all the toys and like things are starting to be on the ceiling. Like everything's like upside down, like chairs and shit are on the ceiling, toys are on the ceiling. And then at one point, even Kevin ends up sitting on the ceiling upside down. And the entity is literally just like changing reality and changing, the concept of time, even, because it turns out they've been trapped in this house for 572 days. Like, what the fuck? That's a long time. That's a year plus, like that these kids have been trapped in this, whatever it is. And then throughout, like these cartoons are on, these old school cartoons are on that are like kind of like giving metaphors to what and symbolizing as to what's going on with the demon and like what's going on with these kids. And like, I mean, it's a very, very interesting movie. And like I said, for being on a budget of 15 grand, I can understand why the movie is this way, and I have appreciation for now why the movie is this way. But at the same time, it's definitely an art film. It's definitely a film that you need to like sit and watch. I mean, people had said that they stopped watching it after like 15 to 20 minutes because it's just so slow, a lot of camera panning, a lot of whispering and like, you know, you have to definitely kind of have subtitles on unless you're blaring it to know exactly what everyone's saying because there's not that much dialogue. So it's just a very odd movie, you know. And then so at the end, near the end of the film, apparently like the kids, you know, die in some way. It seemed that the little girl, you know, was killed first, and then Kevin the boy ends up being tormented as well, and they seem to be put in this loop where they're reliving their deaths over and over again. So somehow this entity was able to take over and possess this house and transform it or transport the kids into a lookalike version of the house that was trapped in some type of dimension or demon or spirit world. So, like I said, it is a very hard pill to swallow, but it was still smooth. You know, the movie was a smooth transition. There is a scene where you see the parents and they do like this vanishing act, and it's just weird. Like, you know, I mean, given that the film is, I guess, from the perspective of the kids, I mean, gosh, I would be terrified if this was going on because, you know, you don't know what the hell's going on. Where's mom and dad? Why is it fucking dark? Why is there this voice that's speaking to us? You know, it's just a lot. There's a lot that goes on, and it just makes you wonder, like, holy shit, like, how much of this is real? How much of this is fake? How much of it is in the kids' heads, maybe? Like, and you don't really know anything about the parents or why the parents could possibly not be there. I mean, it's just a trip. I definitely enjoyed it. But like I said, I did have to watch it twice, and I don't think I would watch it again. I would maybe show people, but it's definitely the type of film where like I mean, you can't just put it on and be like, let's watch this movie, because you need to be ready to really sit and watch nothing for a while to get the little bits of just horror that this movie is portraying. So, I don't know. It was fun, but definitely a project. But as a project on its own, congratulations, Kyle Ball. You did a great job. And, you know, I guess we do need some more films like this. But maybe we don't. But maybe a bit more, you know, maybe have a bit more going on. But more films like that definitely could, you know, I think I wouldn't mind watching or giving time to. But anyway, check it out. Tell me what you think. SKINAMARINK. It's on Hulu. Let me know if you thought if you watch it and if you think it's boring or if you think it's intriguing and it's, you know, just different, a new style of cinema. I mean, you know, whatever it could be. But I mean, I think the kids did a great job. I think the you know, the team did a great job at just putting a film like this together. Awesome. But yeah, it's been Ghost in the Craig. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Halloween is next week. Hope you guys all have some stuff planned. Woo! I got my Riddler costume going. It's pretty cool. I just kind of put one together because I was able to buy a shirt. So kind of going minimal this year, but it is during the week. Halloween's on a fucking Tuesday, so give me a break, you know. But yeah, so everyone take it easy. Have a good Halloween. And Five Nights at Freddy's comes out. Five Nights at Freddy's. I guess that's going to be the next thing we see.